Welcome to Tech Transformation with CGT and RIS News, where we explore the innovative tech strategies and trends in retail and consumer goods. I'm Lisa Johnston, the editor-in-chief at CGT. In this episode, I'm talking with Scott Saeger, SVP and Chief Information Officer of health and wellness retailer GNC. Scott's here to talk about some of the new ways GNC is using technology to prepare for the consumers of tomorrow. Scott, welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. It's nice to be here and to meet you and to also meet all the listeners and viewers.
Oh, we're super thrilled to have you here. Can you get us started? Tell us just a little bit about yourself. I know you've been with GNC for, looks like over 4 years, and you also have a really deep retail and tech background.
Yeah, I do. I joined GNC back in 2018. They were looking to have their next successor for their CIO role, and then subsequently, a few years later, I was promoted to SVP and CIO.
Can you talk a little bit just about GNC and, as part of this, give us a sense of the scale of the company?
Yeah, so we've got about 6,800 associates, and that's, retail field as well as here at headquarters. We just moved our headquarters from downtown Pittsburgh to just outside of downtown Pittsburgh to an area called the Strip District. So we're very excited about the new building and what that will bring for our associates.
It's exciting. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about consumer behavior changes. So we know that consumer engagement went through a massive shift during the pandemic. So for GNC, what are some of the changes that seem to have permanently stuck? And I am going to ask you to say something different besides an increase in e-commerce, because I think we know that's been pretty consistent across the board.
Yeah, for sure. As a global health and wellness company, GNC has a unique opportunity to connect with our consumers, to products and services, that will help them live well. Through technology, we continue to make wellness more accessible by lowering the barriers to purchase through any channel, really making that shopping experience more convenient for our consumer. Our enterprise tech strategy is consumer-centric. We put the customer at the middle of everything that we do. GNC is hyper focused on innovation, which really excites me because I'm a kind of geek at heart. We apply that mindset to all reinvention in our technology stack and really how it supports both the business infrastructure as well as the consumer experience. I can talk about a few IT improvements that.
If you could talk us a little bit through about what all these changes have meant from an IT perspective.
Yeah. I'll go through maybe just a handful, because if I talk about everything, we'll spend the whole hour just on me sounding like I'm patting ourselves on the back. But some of the most influential projects that we've delivered. The first one probably being the point of sale. So not only did we replace our point of sale, but we also launched a mobile point of sale that allows us to do curbside pickup. Because it's composable and headless, we're allowed, we have the opportunity to do same day delivery. Online sales at GNC.com all flow into the same infrastructure and API management as the store, the marketplaces. So we really have that holistic view of our orders and our customer. And that really allows our customers to be more convenient and gives them options to shop and really gives them greater control on how they engage and interact with GNC. The buy online, pick up in store, and again, another really great opportunity for us through COVID. It gave us another avenue to engage with our consumers and leveraging shopping at GNC. We also have ship from store. About 95% of our purchases that are made on GNC.com are now fulfilled and shipped at a store level.
Wow.
That helps us improve not only the accuracy and ensuring that we really have the product, but and delivery to our consumers, which is first and foremost. But there's a monetary gain for GNC knowing that we can ship in the same zones. It reduces our shipping costs.
It must have been a big change to get there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we luckily there were a few things that we delivered right before COVID, OMS being one of them, a new order management system, which really allowed us to springboard into the buy online, pick up store, and as well as ship from store. A couple of other things, Amazon Alexa, we launched our voice ordering capabilities in the U.S. as part of our enterprise technology strategy. Store communications, again, this is a new way for us to connect with our consumers on GNC.com. We can do live chat with coaches at a store, as well as video calls. And it's really helping our consumers build a routine and really complete that whole transaction virtually in the event that maybe somebody's still not really comfortable about going into a brick and mortar. On top of that, it also allows us to now take those same devices to events where our customers are and transact as if we were in the store. One thing I'd like to say is it's a little bit more difficult now to get people in your brick and mortar stores. But if we go to events that our customers are already at, it's a win for them and a win for us. Sure. Probably the last couple would be we launched a new mobile app at the end of last year. We revamped it and relaunched it, and we're seeing an increase of about 23% in mobile sales just because it's a much easier process to transact.
Oh, wow. Can you talk a little bit? I'm sorry to break in. Can you talk a little bit about the improvements that you made for that?
The new solution is a headless solution. It is composable. It allows us to interact with all of the other applications and integrations that we've done on GNC.com. The one before was very rigid. It was almost this template website that you couldn't call outside APIs. You had to live within their four walls. And, it was very transactional. It wasn't experiential. So that was one of the reasons why we knew we needed to exit that platform and then go to one that really allowed us to open up the mobile site just like our new GNC.com. Which, by the way, the new GNC.com, we also redesigned and relaunched a new website and that whole experience on GNC.com in January of last year as well.
So you guys haven't been busy at all, like not at all.
No. And going back to us moving from downtown to the Strip District, we've been in that building there on Wood Street in downtown Pittsburgh for years and years and years, and I'll have to qualify what years and years and years really mean. But I can tell you it was so old that we made the conscious decision to put a data center in the building. Clearly nowadays that's a horrible idea. So as part of us moving, we started out a whole new process to find 2 data centers that were geographically dispersed, as well as on 2 separate power grids, to ensure that we minimize the possibility of any type of business disruption or outage. So we accomplished that by March of this year. So now our hybrid data center strategy is actually in place. We're fully redundant, and we have the opportunity at any point in time to then disperse our workloads either to a different data center or to our cloud environment.
Oh, that's incredible. So you mentioned Amazon before. I'm glad you did. I want to circle back on your partnership with Amazon. So some big news. You recently announced you're teaming with Amazon for same-day delivery. So I'd like to get your thoughts. How has that decision, or maybe even just preparing for it at this point, had an impact on your operations and your IT infrastructure?
Look, it's always an honor when you have somebody like Amazon approach us, and they did so in 2020 about their desire to enter the omnichannel services. It's clear that there was a benefit not only for Amazon Prime customers for order fulfillment, but options and efficiencies for GNC as a merchant on that marketplace. Since GNC has already had significant experience in the omni-channel for our own D2C business, the lift to enable Amazon Omni was about evolving what we had already put in place versus recreating. I'm not a big fan of recreating the wheel. Let's just iterate and then improve. Our associates and our coaches are accustomed to having products picked up at the store for delivery services because of BOPUS and some ship from store. So that was really just an extension of the current experience. This year, we also, like I said, launched the ordering capabilities with US through any Amazon Alexa enabled device. So we're definitely excited about that. And then our partnership with Amazon for same day delivery services, again, has created another avenue for GNC to engage Amazon loyalists and capture a whole new audience.